in a key fourth-quarter run to put the game away. Stanley Cup playoffs, the Golden Knights beat the Wild in Game 1. Brett Howden with 2 goals in the third period. And the Maple Leafs with a 6-2 win over the Senators in Game 1. Mitch Marner with a goal and 2 assists for Toronto.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team takes great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold-certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Hold your block until the whistle blows.
From SEC Media Days to the National Championship Game.
This was a great team win.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Hello and welcome in to the show. John Abraham, Joe Hunk, not together, which is probably the first time in a very long time that this has been the case. But regardless, we are here live at Cherokee Ridge Country Club for the Eagle Installation Charity Golf Classic to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Happy Easter to everybody who was able to. Oh, well, there's Joe over there. Steve right in front of me. Everybody really getting their stuff done. We're having a lot of fun out here already. Got early morning, get over here to Cherokee Ridge, and we were able to set things up for the guys that came in. Plenty of teams going out playing 18 holes, and of course, it's all to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation here in Alabama. Now, we got a lot of fun things to hop into, including, some Easter conversation between me and the Joe Hunk. I am also now 25 years old, as Drew was saying in the last show, and honestly, I feel no different. Whatsoever. And Joe, I see over on WZZN TV, the camera's on you, and you're looking hecka wonderful, I got to admit. But how was your Easter, big man?
Oh, it was absolutely fantastic. I really honestly can't remember what I did. Is it bad? I genuinely cannot remember anything about this past weekend. Like, you asked me that question, and I'm sitting here like, I have no idea. I have no clue. I do remember one thing. I do now that I'm sitting here talking about it. It was actually Friday night after we got done, went to my son's baseball game, and little man, who literally up until this year barely even wanted to step on the field, had 2 home runs and 5 RBIs.
Yeah. Wait, he had home run. Is he hitting it off the tee?
No. Well, one was off the tee. That was the first one, and then the second one. I honestly just thank God that the person playing first base was not a foot to his right, because he literally would have took his head off. It was like one of those where I just go, oh, like I've never even seen him hit a ball that hard before. So no, that's good. And so unfortunately, he's supposed to play tonight and tomorrow night. But with the rain, I kind of doubt that either one of those games are going to take place.
Yeah, and thankfully the rain's going to be pushed back just a little. We're able to get in the golf, but Tom decided to come on over and talk with me a little bit, and he also had a pretty interesting Easter. But I've never hit a home run in baseball before, because that rain is just going right above us, but it's not. It doesn't look like it's coming into vicinity.
You got to be positive. You have to stay positive. It's going to miss us.
Yeah, it's like NASCAR. Whenever you're doing NASCAR, you got to keep an eye on the weather, and they usually will show off the graph that's going where the weather pattern is, and for us right now it is kind of gliding above us, so we're going to be able to get the golf in, but then that's when the rain's going to hit. So your kid, he's doing like an MLB type of schedule. Might get a day off today, maybe tomorrow, as it's supposed to rain throughout the week, but Tom's with us.
I don't know.
Chilling out
throughout the week. Yeah. We just sent them out. We just sent the players out to the course, and I'm being positive, and that we're going to be able to get this whole thing in, which is going to be good. It is breezy up there, and I got to be honest with you, it's colder now at 9 o'clock than it was when I got here at 7 o'clock. Yeah. It seems like it's actually gotten a little bit cooler now. Those of you that are watching on WZZN TV see the weather right there. That's old style. We'll put the computer in front of the camera to show the weather. So there you go. So you get a little bit of an idea of what it is looking like there. But yeah, we're fired up here, and it was good to see, Justin Thomas in honor of our golf tournament. Alabama product Justin Thomas winning the Heritage. He hadn't won in 3 years, so that was good as well. And I'm stoked for that.
Yeah, in his first 7 years, I think he had 13 PGA wins, and then going winless as he had a child, and then he hasn't won since he had that child. Then he finally gets it in overtime, or in the playoffs, of the RBC Heritage, and it was a huge moment. You could tell he was relieved, and hey, it's huge for Alabama as well as he brings home another win.
Yeah. Joe, did you see what happened with Max Fried, Joe? Have you ever seen a guy lose a no-hitter on a scorer's decision in the middle of the game? Of course, he ended up giving up a hit in the 8th inning anyway, but how crazy would that have been if they actually had screwed him out of the no-hitter?
Yeah, it's actually on MLB Network right now. They're re-showing it once again. So, that's the first time I've seen it where it was ruled one way and then later on in the game it was changed. That's the first time I've ever seen that.
It was 3 innings later, and they didn't even make an announcement. They just put a 1 up on the scoreboard. They didn't even notice. It's 0 in hits, and then all of a sudden there was 1 in the hits. And Michael Kay lost his mind. I was watching the game, and it was crazy. They also had an interesting thing in that game. Aaron Judge hit a home run.
He did. It was a home run
into the trees. And because it's a spring training stadium, they did all these things to bring it up to speed, for regular season Major League games.
They forgot the posts.
They didn't put the foul posts up very high. The foul posts are like high school foul posts. And he hit this ball, and it was into the trees, and it was clearly fair, but they couldn't get the proper angle on it. And because the foul poles are so short, they couldn't make the call, and he chipped them out of a home run.
Wow.
So if he ends up with 71 home runs and doesn't break the record or whatever because of that one, they'll be talking about it for years.
Yeah, that is true. Joe, I know the Braves have also had a pretty good weekend as they were able to totally sweep their opponents, the Twins, which, it's the Twins. They're a little bit
off to a rough start.
They got the talent on the team. They're not able to get it going. And thankfully for the Braves, able to kind of move forward with some light drama going on with Ronald Acuna, but we're not worried about that. If they're winning games, that's all we truly care about. And again, you could listen to Braves baseball all season long on 97.7. But Joe, how are you feeling about your Braves, man?
I told you they were going to win. That's just, again, it's going to happen. Twins were very injured. Heck, half their power hitters are injured right now. So this is what they're going to do when they're at home. They finally got to play at home. But going into this weekend, they'd played fewer home games than anybody in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, and they're looking forward to the Cardinals.
Well, if they could take 2 out of 3, right? Because I said last week, Joe, I wanted to see him go 4-2 on this homestand. Now they got an excellent chance, really. They could go 5-1 on the homestand. Who knows? They could sweep the homestand.
They could.
Cardinals hadn't won in 4 games.
Yeah, and then they face off against the Diamondbacks, who might be second to last in their division, but this is still a good team. Don't let them fool you right now.
Don't forget Braves also on WCDT as well. So they're on both your stations that the folks are listening on. Joe, did you see these trophies? Have you seen these all morning?
Yes.
I know you're a big wrestling guy.
Well, we got plenty of wrestling coming up.
You had the WrestleMania thing going on, but the straps, these guys are playing for a strap right here, which is a really cool strap. It's pretty neat.
Playing for a strap is a little bit different. Playing for a belt, that's one thing.
Is this a cool way to say it's a strap? And that what you call it, a strap?
No, the belt. The strap. That's in different group circles. Probably be talked about a little bit more.
No, we appreciate everybody listening here. Huntsville as well is up on ESPN Winchester. Our Tennessee listeners, you guys are able to call into the show 256-576-4. 97.7. Just a little delay on there, but it's totally fine. Of course,
a delay because you're on a row.
Me and Joe,
I didn't know. I thought this was the Blitz, and this is the Tom Abraham show. I don't know which one we're doing right now.
No, we're just doing random radio is what's going on. But I'm going to jump off now and head out there.
That's good.
And then we're going to reverse this thing right for my show.
Yeah,
I'll open my show, and then you guys will take over my show and just run that thing for a couple of hours right out here during the awards. This is going to be cool because you're right here in front of the scoreboard. And we'll be doing lunch and the awards and everything else, and you guys will be doing my show right during that.
No
thing.
doubt.
So
You're
gonna
see the. Is it going to update throughout?
Oh yeah. The totals will be on.
Well, Tom Abraham show, that's when you're going to see the finale.
Yeah,
But either way, you get out of here. We're gonna have Ryan Sylvian in the second segment, talk a little bit about his Tennessee Volunteers, and of course, Nico finds his home. It is official, and I know a lot of people probably still a little bit hurt on that one, but I think everybody's getting past it. I think we're slowly but surely getting past it. But Ryan going to help us out a little bit more with what this Tennessee Volunteer squad is going to do at the QB position, because of course Nico was looking like he was going to be the leader of this team.
No, you're right, and that's now you're going to see them going to UCLA, and honestly, I don't know what the expectation should be for him on this. That's what I've been trying to figure out for the last 24 hours. Is like, what should the expectation be for you to sit back and be able to give the double birds to everybody?
Can he even do that?
Decision.
He's not.
If Daddy lets him, I don't know if Daddy's going to let him, but I mean, hey.
Yeah, he's not in the South. He's not on the SEC. Of course, if he did go to another SEC team, he'd have to sit out another year, which he could have done that. He's got enough eligibility, but now he's across the country. And, I mean, even if you wanted to flip the birds of it, you're still in this Big Ten that's going to be extra competitive. Last year, this team was second to last, I believe, in offense. So that should definitely see an upgrade. But at the same time, I mean, I don't think this is going to be a double bird type of season. I think this is more going to be a building season for Nico, and then he might do something else. He might even transfer again going into his senior year. But he's right now he is committed to the Bruins, which we learned, of course, is just a regular brown bear. It's just a different word for it.
Yes, no, it is. Sorry, I'm now in your situation.
Okay.
So I'm doing like 10 things back here.
Yeah, the delay as well is it's going to throw you off, but we're going to get through it. It's going to be a lot of fun again here out at Cherokee Ridge Country Club. You can come out today after the tournament comes to an end, but at the same time, it's probably going to be raining a little bit. That'll help up the greens, and then of course throughout the week, you can definitely stop on by, play a few holes here at Cherokee Ridge Country Club. It's looking beautiful out here, Joe. I can't wait for you to come out here and join us as well. But I want to ask you a question. This is a question I was thinking about going into the show. Did you do like an Easter egg hunt? I know you're not huge on holidays, but did you do an Easter egg hunt yesterday?
We did two, actually. We did one for the kids when they woke up. My wife and I were out at about, I think it was about 10:30 Saturday night, putting eggs throughout the yard so that when the kids woke up, we were able to do that at some point in time. And my wife has a really big family, and I mean like massive. And so we went over to a family member's house, and I think we walked in the door, and I mean there was probably 50 people standing around at one point in time. And so what happens is some of the adults go outside and they literally put 200 or 300 eggs throughout the entire yard, and then all the kids go out through there. So I was so my little man and I walked around. My wife was with my daughter, and they walked around. And so yeah, we did multiple egg hunts yesterday.
Very nice. Well, hey, whenever you used to do egg hunts, because I'm guessing you did that as a kid, what was like the candy you were looking forward to in your egg? And what, on the opposite side, what was a candy that you were looking at and you were just like, I might just toss this one back. I don't really want
what the name of it was. It's Cash. That was the candy I was looking for. Cash. Yeah.
Does that even still exist?
Yes. I mean, we go to a lot of debit now, but I mean, Cash was really what I was always looking for in my eggs whenever I was going through there. It's kind of a green substance. We don't use it a lot now, but that was always what I was looking for in it. I could care less about the Smarties and all that, but if you threw some Cash in there, I was going to throw a bow for sure, trying to get an egg.
Okay. So Reese's eggs are the ones for me. If I found Cash, that's a plus. What our family does is we have a golden egg, and I have to commend the kid that found it because Danny, he was the one that hit it. He actually hit it up in a light bulb fixture, so nobody was actually looking up, and it was actually right next to Tom's studio. So it was a part of Tom's studio, and one of the kids just goes walking up to it after everybody's found every single egg. And a few of the kids were trying to strategically do it some other way where they weren't picking up any eggs. They were just solely looking for the golden egg, but it was almost impossible. I mean, even Joe from WCDT up in Winchester, even he was looking for it. He couldn't find it. And out of all the people, I feel like Dog the Bounty Hunter would have been able to find it. But it turned out to be one of the kids. He just went walking over. He looked up, and he was like, Oh, he grabbed it and he pulled it out. And that's the one that every kid's looking for because that's got the money in it. And of course,
and with
the shot.
With my daughter, it was she almost got her first real spanking of her life yesterday. Because what we do is we empty the eggs out as we're counting them and we put them into the baskets. Well, we emptied out one egg and it, sure enough, it had one of the little miniature Reese's cups in it. So right when it hit, she picks it up and just squeezes.
Oh, why would you do that?
Yeah, no.
I mean, the kid's, what was it, 2-year-old?
Yeah.
She just turned 2.
She just turned 2. Yeah, she almost got a spanking for that one. I mean, she just wasted a nice, good Reese's cup.
Yeah,
it was really kind of depressing, to be honest with you. We held a funeral afterwards for it. But after that, it was, it was always for the cash and everything. So some of them had change in them, some of them not. And what was really crazy is you count the eggs, and then obviously you know how many eggs you start with. And then you flip it around after that, and you say, okay, this is how many eggs we have. There's still 5 or 6 remaining. And then everybody goes after them. After that, because especially if that's the one that has the $20 or $50 in it.
Yeah, you gotta equal it out. You gotta make sure the kids can only get a certain amount depending on it. I, for one, would do a free-for-all battle royale, but there are a mixture of older kids, younger kids, and all that stuff. So those older kids probably have a little bit of advantage, especially with me hiding the eggs. I forget that we have some of the shorter kids, but I was still doing a really good job. But if I put any too high up, I knew that those the big kids would be the ones to find it. But we did a 24 egg limit, which I don't know if I would be able to follow. Okay, I would start grabbing all the eggs. But regardless, as always, the show brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, one of the teams that's actually out on the course right now here at Cherokee Ridge. Fleming is the place to go to for all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com. They show up to help you. They also show up to play some golf. Let's hop into our first break because when we get back, we're talking with Ryan Sylvia from ballreport.com. He's going to help us out with a little bit more information on this Tennessee squad as they move forward without Nico, the 5-star prodigy from California. So that's what's coming up here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and WZZN TV.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our nonprofit board support our local educators and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Dr. Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank. And community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Under NMLS ID 2428943.
Here's the best place for sports. You're not the best place for wings. If you answer Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every kids meal teachers if a month $15. And Newmarket, Jefferson's will be opening a new location at 2190 County Road 65 very soon. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. Hampton Cove, and soon in Newmarket.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. The dealer for details.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Rocket City, for air that's cool and clean, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get HVAC smart with Professor Green and the expert team at sensagreen.com. Now offering up to $1,500 off any new Bryant system. Whatever it takes, Sensa Green has Huntsville covered. Remember, folks, with innovative, sensible green solutions, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. Rain and a few thunderstorms for the rest of this Monday night. Low temperatures going to be falling into the lower 60s. Heading into our Tuesday, rain and a few thunderstorms remain in the forecast, about an 80% chance of rain. High temperatures warming into the mid-70s for the afternoon. We'll keep rain in the forecast through at least Tuesday night. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen, home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Playoffs is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Playoffs. It's like you're talking to yourself.
And welcome back in to the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk here with you guys 2 hours straight of sports talk here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Live out here at Cherokee Ridge for the Eagle Installation at Charity Golf Classic, benefiting the Make-A-Wish Foundation here in Alabama. And Joe, there's a lot of stuff that's coming out about Nico, of course. It's been the hot story for the last week. We thought he was going to be making an arrival at UCLA a little bit early, but at the same time, just reports came out. It seemed like the school he was going to go to, and now he has officially found his home as a Bruin, and he'll be looking to make a name over there in the Big Ten.
No, he absolutely will. And so let's talk to Ron Sylvia about that, because, this whole thing has turned into something that we thought was just a made-up story. And then about 72 hours later, we have ourselves an even bigger story on hand because, he's leaving. And Ryan, we bring you on now, man. Just be like, from your standpoint, how did this go from, hey, this was a story that we had heard a little bit about in December, to look at what's going on now, to now he's across the country?
Yeah, I think it really became reality when it came out that he missed practice on Friday. And that's what Josh Heupel pointed to too. After the orange and white game, Tennessee spring game, is, hey, when did you realize that you were moving forward without Nico? And he said, well, when you're at practice on Friday and you look around and Nico's not out there, you don't really have much of a decision. There's no coming back from that. So that was kind of the moment, I think, where it was like, all right, this has gone from negotiations, there was talks and things like that, to, okay, Nico probably isn't going to be the quarterback next year for Tennessee. And then the following day before the orange and white game, you figured he wasn't going to be there for that game. And then Tennessee came out and said, we're not going to have Nico at quarterback. We're moving on without him. And then you got the little George McIntyre, Jake Merklinger showdown, the only 2 quarterbacks left on the roster. And reality started to set in for Tennessee fans, I think, on that Saturday, the orange and white game, that there's a new quarterback in town.
And it was definitely interesting, too, because it started with, he didn't show up to practice. And I feel like there was a little bit of conversation prior to it that just came up about the whole December situation, about him possibly holding on to the playoffs. And I didn't fully believe that because, of course, he played in one game. He was in. Obviously, they lose to Ohio State. But then now fast forward, and, of course, he's gone. He's off. And he expects his growth to continue at UC for the Bruins, because for Tennessee, he wasn't he wasn't the reason why this team was, making it to the playoffs. At least the sole reason, it seemed like.
I think that's fair to say. Like, he's a really good quarterback. He's really talented. He has the upside that you would want as a Power 4 program that's trying to compete at a high level. Like, that's the type of guy that you want on the field standpoint. At the same time, I think if you look at last year's team and why they were able to go 10-2 and why they were able to make the playoffs, you first have to look at the defensive side of the ball and how good Tennessee's defense was. Because you think back to some of the stretches of SEC play, and there was times you were looking at the halftime score and Tennessee hadn't scored, or Tennessee just had a field goal, or Tennessee's offense really didn't do much, and it was not against the best teams in the world. Like, it was against the Kentucky of the SEC that the game was just way closer at halftime than it should have been, or a Florida team that didn't fully go into DJ Lagway at that point. Graham Mertz was injured in that game. That kind of gave the keys over to Lagway. So it wasn't a Florida team that was very impressive either. And that game goes to overtime because the offense wasn't able to get going too much. So I think there's a balance. Like, he was good. He was the upside is phenomenal and something that I think is probably worth the risk if you're UCLA because of how poor their offense was a year ago. But at the same time, I don't think that Tennessee got to the playoffs because of Nico last year. They're somewhere in the middle, though, that I think is probably the reality.
Gotcha. Ryan Sylvia from Ball Report with us, talking a little bit of Tennessee, a little bit of Nico Iamaleava as we try and close out that saga. But do you think it was about the money, or do you think you just wanted to go back home, or do you have any set-in-stone reports about the reason why?
I mean, it depends who you talk to, right? Like, if you talk to the Tennessee brass, then it's about the money and it's about, that end of things. If you talk to Iamaleava, then they're going to tell you that, it was the offense or this and that, and it was, wanting to get back home. I'm sure that both sides are telling the truth in some regard, and both sides are stretching the truth in another regard. But I did think it was funny when it came out of Nico's camp that it was the offense was the issue, and then he turns around and transfers to UCLA, who had one of the worst offenses in the country last year and couldn't score 20 points. That one I don't know about, but I'm sure there's truth on both sides of things, and like I said, stretches of the truth on both sides of things, because it is a PR nightmare kind of on both sides in a way. So you want to spin it and make yourself or your camp look good. So it's a similar situation where I'm sure there's some truth somewhere towards the middle, but I mean, you did hear about negotiations, and that wasn't just this spring. You heard negotiations, whether that was money or talking about what the roster is going to look like in the winter as well. There was always talk this offseason, so I think that's kind of an interesting aspect to it as well.
Well, now you're looking at the depth chart, the quarterback room, and the vibes around Knoxville. I mean, Nico, he seemed like a hero at one point, but now, what are the vibes in Knoxville? Are people still hopeful that this team is able to get it done, or are people a little bit more questioning, or is all of their anger kind of going towards the young quarterback?
It feels a little split. I think there's a good portion of the fan base that their expectations have been dashed this year. Like, there was a thought that this team would be able to compete to get back to the playoffs and maybe build off of a 10-2 season, and you can kind of clean up some of the issues like that road loss to Arkansas, and maybe you can get a better seed in the playoffs as well. And that's, of course, assuming that Nico would have been quarterback and taken a step in the right direction. Guys like Mike Matthews at the receiver position was able to take a big step as well. Now you got two improving quarterbacks on the roster. I think it really depends who they bring in out of the transfer portal. They're going to bring someone in. The question is it going to be someone that comes in and everyone goes, okay, yeah, that's Tennessee's starter? Like, I'm sure Tennessee will play it off as a quarterback battle throughout fall camp, even if you kind of know that transfer is the guy. Or are they going to bring in someone that it really will be a quarterback battle and you don't know? Is it going to be that guy who's probably also a little unproven? Or are you going to hand the keys to a Jake Merklinger who's a redshirt freshman, or George McIntyre who's a true freshman? Because that's also a pretty big risk. So it's tough to gauge exactly what Tennessee's going to look like without knowing who's going to play quarterback. And I think that split the fan base a little bit, with some people, still holding on to hope that that quarterback position will be figured out, that maybe the offense starts to look a little bit more like the 2022 offense with Hendon Hooker and things start to open up a little bit. And then there's another portion that I think is little discouraged about what Tennessee season could look like this year.
Ryan Sylvia from Vol Report giving us all the information we need to know going into, of course, Tennessee Volunteers' upcoming season, more of the offseason and all that. And this Tennessee team obviously had a lot of talent last season. The turnover is, you're losing Dylan Sampson, who honestly could have won a Heisman Trophy any other year. Obviously, there's a lot of talent in last year's senior class moving forward. But I look at this squad, and obviously there's not – these guys are proven in the quarterback room, but there was a time in college where you didn't have to have the best quarterback to win, and it still seems that way. Of course, with Will Howard last year, I definitely don't think he was the top quarterback last season. But there's got to be the foundational pieces around it. They still got a good defense. They still got a good offense, just in some ways. Tell us a little bit about the players that now, with Nico out of the picture, we should be focusing on moving forward.
Well, first, I think you are right. Like, you look at Stetson Bennett, and that's not taking anything away from Stetson Bennett. Like, I thought he was a really good college quarterback, but he wasn't some Heisman world beater that won the first round, and he won back-to-back championships because Georgia's roster was just absolutely incredible. Now, Tennessee's roster isn't on the level of those Georgia back-to-back title squads, but they've got a good SEC roster that could surround a quarterback and have another good season within conference play. I think the two biggest question marks are – or maybe the three biggest question marks are at wide receiver, where they're really thin. I think the top of that room is pretty impressive. A guy like Chris Brazzell, who returns after a nice season at Tennessee last year, who's expected to take a step. Mike Matthews, who's a former five-star, who will be a sophomore this year, that a lot of people think could have a breakout season. And then another redshirt freshman in Braylon Staley in the slot. And then that's also a position that you've seen them already in the spring transfer portal window extend 2 offers out yesterday to different guys, just to, one, get some more bodies in there, but two, if those guys pan out, and it looks like both of them can maybe play in that slot as well, that they could be someone that plug and plays at a high level for Tennessee. The offensive line, you're losing 4 starters. You return a former 5-star Lance Courage, who had an up and down year last year, but should be healthier and better this year. And then you bring in a few transfers, some returning pieces that didn't start a year ago. And then David Sanders Jr., a 5-star freshman, who now looks like he's going to start right tackle. So you have the pieces there as well, and that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But then also on the defensive end, they got gutted, it feels like. James Pierce Jr., he's going to go, and that's tough to replace. But in the interior, too, Omari Thomas, Omar Norman-Law, defensive tackle is going to be a spot I would look at as well. And that's another spot that in this spring portal they've tried to supplement already and extended some offers, too. So those are kind of the 3 biggest question marks, maybe. But running back room feels like it's taken or it's done a good job to replace Dylan Sampson as best as you can. Tight end room's really good. You flip the side, the linebacker room's really strong at the top. I think the defensive back could have a nice year again, too. So it's a good roster. You just got to figure out the quarterback position and maybe try to put some pieces together here in the spring portal, supplement your roster, and you should be in a good spot.
No doubt about that. And Joe, in as well, because I know you probably have some questions about your Tennessee Volunteers.
Yeah, no, also it was more about basketball as well, because it wasn't just the fact that you've lost Nico and everything's been talked about with him, but it's not like all things are negative on that side, because there's a pretty big pickup.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the highest rated commit in Tennessee basketball history, going back to 2003 when Rivals started ranking prospects 5-star, number 4 in the country. Nate Amend picked Tennessee. So that was a massive pickup, and I think that's the type of pickup, too. Like, that takes you from, okay, how are you going to rebuild this roster when you're losing Chaz Lanier, Zakai Ziegler, Jemai Meshack, Igor Milicic, Jordan Gainey, like, you go down the list of all these guys that are so good in the Elite 8 run that are out of eligibility, and you bring in one of the best freshmen in the country. You already have Gillespie, who's one of the best point guards in the transfer portal. You brought in Jalen Carey, who's going to help you at the 4 spot. And there's some other big names out there in the transfer portal as well that you're going to get spot for. Like, Rick Barnes is putting on a masterclass of how to use the portal in this day and age, and now also dipping into the high school ranks to land native men. Like, they're going to be really good this year. It really puts them over the top to be another top 10 team that gives them a shot at cracking that Final Four.
And I'm curious about the whole thing with basketball as it does connect to football as well, because you do have all this positive stuff going on. The baseball team, top 5 team in the country. Basketball, talking about the recruit that they just picked up, but then you also turn around and, it's not like football is dead. And it's not like it's, they didn't just make a college football playoff last year. But how does this fan base kind of start to kind of look back at football because of all the good things that are happening in basketball and in baseball and everything else that you're seeing at the university? And how does this football team like get the attention back into being like, hey, just like you said earlier, Nico wasn't the reason we made it to the college football playoff. Like, him leaving isn't the most devastating thing to our program.
I think, even though Tennessee, they call themselves an everything school and they have a good case at it because they're so good across the table at really everything. You toss in softball and things like that as well, where they're competing at such a high level. Football is always going to be Kingstown and Knoxville, and I think that's an interesting dynamic because you even look back to maybe the Jeremy Pruitt and Coach Jones days where they didn't have the best season, and that's when maybe you saw baseball start to take a step, you saw basketball start to take a step, and football was still kind of the number one thing you would talk to people about on the street or people would ask questions about because it's just such a big deal to the culture of Knoxville and the University of Tennessee. So even though, like you said, Tennessee's good at football. They're coming off a playoff appearance. They have a shot to get back and have another nice season, but with the level that the basketball programs have both been on, that baseball, that softball, and all these other schools have been on, all of a sudden it's kind of funny to look at a team that's coming off a playoff appearance, and it's one of the, if you had to pick a worst team out of the big 5-6 programs in the school, it's one of the worst ones, and that's kind of a funny dynamic to have when they're also competing at such a high level. But I still think, as far as the fan base goes, as far as the boosters and the donors and NIL contributions go, football's always going to be number one. They could go 6-6 next year. Not that I think they will, but they could go 6-6 next year. It's still going to be number one. I just don't see that changing at Tennessee anytime soon.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I mean, it's just football. I mean, it's just how it is. It seems like it is the sport everybody gets excited about, and including the baseball fans, the basketball fans. I mean, everybody is in on the fall. But regardless, baseball, speaking of it, it was a little bit of a rocky last two SEC series. You finish off Kentucky in the first game, and then the next two lose 1-4, 2-8. It just seems a little bit of like a rocky. It shows that, this Tennessee team isn't invincible, but it also shows that this team has a lot of learning to do throughout the season, as well as healing up. Tell us a little bit more about your perspective of this baseball team and how far they're able to go.
Now, I mean, they're feeling to win another national championship, but if they play how they did this past weekend against Kentucky, and even how they did in a really nice road series win against Ole Miss, it got sloppy at times. And if you play like that when, the margins get so thin in Omaha or the super regionals, you're going to get caught. So that's kind of the biggest thing is just sloppy baseball, throws from the catcher getting to the outfield, ground balls getting booted, throwing errors, just little things like that, I think, caught up to Tennessee against the Kentucky team that, they put the ball in play and they make you earn it. And it's been varying degrees of success for that program doing that. But when you catch a team like Tennessee right now that's, kind of prone to errors, I think it worked out really well in Kentucky's favor. It's also just one of the series, too, where for whatever reason Tennessee's bats never fully woke up after that first game. And all of a sudden you're sitting there and you're getting killed by a pitcher on Saturday and you can't get much offense until late in the game on Sunday. So, you expect to see, I think, the bats take a turn. You expect to see, the fielding get cleaned up to at least a reasonable degree, but it's a lot of new pieces. There's returning aspects from that championship team, but a lot of that lineup is true freshmen, transfers, different guys who maybe haven't had to go through an SEC slate, or if they did go through an SEC slate, didn't have to go through, that postseason run that Tennessee did a year ago and gain all that valuable experience. So it'll be interesting to see how they round out this season, but my expectation still that this team should finish towards the top of the country and be a real threat to go back-to-back.
Out of the LSUs, the Auburns, the Vanderbilts, the Arkansas, which series do you think is going to be the most important for Tennessee to take advantage of, and at that point of the season as well?
I think Vandy's always interesting. That's one that people, like to get up for just because that in-state rivalry and really one of the only things that Vanderbilt truly competes with Tennessee at. It feels like on a yearly basis. But Arkansas is always a fiery one as well with Tony Vitello's, experience as an assistant coach there. I think it was 2021 that they got in a little verbal altercation with Dave over at Arkansas. So that one's always interesting too. Those two are big ones. But I mean, you look at Auburn, who's really good this year. You look at LSU, who's always really good, and Tennessee's had some big series and some big games against throughout recent history. It's a gauntlet down the stretch, but it's like SEC basketball last year, men's basketball and women's basketball. Really, like, you don't really get an off week. You play the worst team in the conference, and it's still one of the better teams in the country, and baseball's living up to that standard, not just this year, but, I mean, really throughout all of college baseball history. It feels like, you don't get an off week in SEC baseball.
No doubt about that. Joe, before we get over to some of the fun stuff outside of the sports, you got anything else more related to the Vols?
Well, it's more about the fact that it's not just on the campus that you're thinking about, because you can even look around now in Major League Baseball when you're talking about baseball, like Dolander getting his first start in the major leagues. Like, you're starting to see all this stuff with Drew, all these things that we're talking about with the Rockies and all that, because they have multiple Vols players. Like, you're seeing these former Vols start to kind of make their way up through the minor leagues, and this is all part of that first class that Tony was having.
I think that's been a funny thing with Tennessee baseball. When you go back to like 2022, and Tennessee was the number one team in the country, and you look at the major leagues, there was like two guys that were, former Tennessee players that were in the pros, because it was so recent that Tony built the program up to the standard it is now. But now you've got some time in between that, and you see Garrett Crochet for the Red Sox. I mean, he almost threw a no-hitter about a week ago. He's phenomenal, one of the best pitchers in the MLB. You mentioned there's three guys on the Rockies that are from Tennessee, and even go down to the minor leagues. Like, hey, Christian Moore's going to get called up sooner than later, it feels like.
I'm shocked he's still here, man. I'm shocked he's still in Huntsville, just to be honest.
He's right down the road. That's another guy. Like, I mean, you think sooner than later the Angels will pull him up, and he'll be another guy. And there's a bucket list long list of guys kind of in the minor leagues right now. They're from these recent teams that are just destroying baseballs at the plate or striking out guys on the mound. And before you know it, I think that, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw the list of former college players in the MLB and which team has the most representation. Tennessee's climbing up that list. I think it's Virginia right now that has the most. Florida's up there too. Sooner than later, it feels like Tennessee's probably going to claim that spot, though.
No doubt about that. And also Sonny DeShera still sitting out here in Huntsville as well. He's similar to Babe Ruth, in my opinion, the size and the power that he uses. But regardless, Ryan, it was Easter, man. We got to talk a little bit of Easter because we didn't get an Easter show, all right? What is something you are looking for whenever you're, Easter egg hunting when you're younger? What is the candy that you strive for whenever you pop that little egg open?
I was always a peanut butter guy, so I love the Reese's Pieces, not the Reese's Pieces, but the little Reese's cups. I like when you would get one of those. For whatever, I always like when there's like a quarter in there too. When you're a little kid and you just find 4 Easter eggs and there's a quarter in each of them, now you got $1. Like, that was, you're on top of the world. You're rich for being like a 5 to 7 year old at that time. So I like the little quarters, the little piece of cash that you could add up to $1 or $2, and then I also like the Reese's cup.
I love it. Yeah, Joe was talking a little bit about it. His daughter one of the Reese's cups. It was almost the game over for her.
Oh yeah, she almost got
it's
first
a hot commodity.
Yeah, she did. She literally put it in her hand and squeezed it. Like she was just looking at it saying, "Oh, you like these? You like this?" And I'm just looking at her going, "I don't know if I want to claim you right now." Like, that just broke my heart.
Jeez,
that broke my heart. She was upset.
Well, a lot of fun, man. It's great to get the information that's going up there in Knoxville. And of course, obviously Nico's still going to be a story that people are going to be throwing around. But in time, I mean, in that city can also start looking forward to the future of this program and where it's going to go and all the talent that is going to be coming in, not just in the football side, but of course in the other top sports. But real quick, Ryan, before we get you out of here, tell the people where they can follow your work online and on socials.
I'm on Twitter at Ryan C. Sylvia, and then you can find us at Tennessee.rivals.com or VolReport.com. We'll have you covered on, of course, everything that Tennessee football is doing in the spring portal, trying to find that new quarterback, but also, Vols basketball, Lady Vols basketball, Vols baseball, Lady Vols softball, everything Tennessee athletics. We got you covered over there.
Yeah, whenever we get that report in, we're getting you back on because we got to figure out what this Tennessee team's going to do in that quarterback position. I think it's fine right now. Of course, we want to add a little extra insurance. But, Ryan, appreciate you as always, man. Have a wonderful week and enjoy. Maybe get out and enjoy some golf or something. I don't know. We're feeling that vibe this week.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. And I'll talk to you when Tennessee finds that quarterback.
Always good, man. Ryan Sylvia has our guest. We're out here at Cherokee Ridge Country Club. Of course, the Eagle Installation Charity Golf Classic, the benefit of Make-A-Wish Foundation here in Alabama. We'll take it to break off of that when we get back. Final segment of the first hour. Your guys' reactions, 256-576-4. Thank you, Joe. 977. It's a little delay, but I mean, you're going to pick it up for me. You pick up the slack. But we'll be right back here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and WZZN TV.
Action update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. AI-powered betting models to help you make sharper picks during March Madness. Free 7-day trial available now at rhythm.com. That's RITHMN.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series arrives at Talladega Speedway this week for the Jack Links 500. Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, all 11-1 to win it. William Byron, Brad Keselowski, 12-1. Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, 14-1 to win the NASCAR Cup race this week at the Talladega Speedway. Atlanta Braves, an $1.85 favorite against the Louis Cardinals at Truist Park today. The Braves dropped the Minnesota Twins 6-2 yesterday to complete a 3-game sweep with the Spencer Schwammenbach on the mound today for the Braves, an $1.85 favorite. Eric Fadee for the Cardinals, plus 154. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you better life.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
The Braves roll into the 2025 season with a singular focus: home the division title and remind the league Atlanta is all about.
Walk-on driven to left center field and deep. He's out of here. Off step right. Rio to Olsen, and he powers one. Deep into the field to the wall. It's gonna fly. It's a home run. Back-to-back homers.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today, 256-208-9000. That's 256-208-9000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Ford Motor Company. From America, for America. Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford with a real quick quiz. Out of all the manufacturers, do you know which auto company employs the most hourly workers in America? Ford. Do you know which company assembles the most vehicles in this country? Ford. That's not just a coincidence. It's a commitment. A 120-year-old commitment to build in America for America. And during this unprecedented moment in automotive history, you stand to benefit big time. Woody Anderson Ford is now offering employee pricing. You pay what we pay. We've got over 190 F-150s for you to choose from with generous finance rates and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 48 years in a row. Employee pricing can save you thousands off MSRP, and with over 600 Fords for you to choose from, there's a good chance you'll find just exactly what you're looking for. This offer ends May 31st, so hurry in. Woody Anderson Ford.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. Expect to see scattered showers and a few thunderstorms for much of this Monday. High temperatures are expected to warm into the low 80s, potentially seeing wind gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. Heading into Monday night, rain and a few thunderstorms continue. Low temperatures falling into the low 60s for the overnight. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
We cover all the SEC schools, including Western Union and Venmo. I want money. You know, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
All right, welcome back into the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk here live at Cherokee Ridge for our Eagle Installation Charity Golf Classic to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation here in Alabama. And I say that me and Joe are out here. It's just me right now. If you're watching over on WZZN TV, hello, subscribe. Joe's just chilling back at the studio. He's kind of got my job today, where you're producing a bunch of shows, you have fun with it, you're kind of all over the place in your mind, but you will be on location for the Tom Abraham Show.
Yeah, I'm 63 places right now. We hope so. I hope I can get there. We'll find out.
You should be able to. It's a beautiful drive coming out to Cherokee, and it's the opposite of what we get every single day. Well, I don't know about you, Joe. You got to come in from a different side of town, but I come in through the South Parkway, and it's all city for anybody who comes out here. My roommate John Liggett, or any of the golfers that come out to Cherokee Ridge, which there are a lot of them, but they get to go the scenic route. It's all beautiful, and there's a few shops around the path this way. And for me, Joe, I'm back on that Pokemon grind. I went to a card show this past weekend, and I got a card for Tom. And the guy who gave it to me, wonderful. Like, there's so many nice guys there. It was just a wonderful, very welcoming environment. But one of the dudes actually knew who we were, and it was Ken Keller. He actually worked with Joseph over in Tullahoma. But he talked to me for a little bit. He said once he recognized who I was, he was like, "Hey, take all of the Browns cards." And I was like, "No, I don't need all the Browns cards, but I will take one."
He's like, no, trust me, they're not worth anything. Go take them. You can take them.
I mean, they were pretty cool cards. There was only two guys that I really knew. It was Jim Brown and it was Tim Couch, and it was a Tim Couch card. And I don't get me wrong, I actually do like Tim Couch. He was one of my he was one of my first favorite players whenever I was growing up, just because Tom got me this stuffed animal of Tim Couch when I was younger. And it wasn't an animal; it was a stuffed quarterback, and he was definitely stuffed, probably on the field as well, because he was always injured. But
funny story, that stuffed animal actually started 3 games for Cleveland. It's crazy.
Yeah, funny enough,
that's the one that actually played. Yeah.
And then I think his arm got ripped off, the stuffed animal, and also the actual Tim Couch. But it was a Kentucky card, and it was before NIL, so he didn't have any of the Kentucky imaging on it. I was like, nah, I only care if he was in the Cleveland Browns gear. But yeah, Ken was very, very fun to talk to, a very kind guy, and he gave me a card that in a little bit I will give to Tom, probably at the start of the Tom Abraham Show, and hopefully he appreciates that maybe gives me knucks or something like that. Whatever I'd look for, honestly, in a father figure. But regardless of that, he's pretty much my boss first. But Joe, we were talking a lot about UCLA and Nico, and hopefully that will start dying out here in a little bit. But Nico probably has the most interesting name on the Tennessee Volunteers. But now that he's at UCLA, he's got a lot more competition. One guy I'm looking at is Titus Mokiao Atamalala. That's literally his name. I butchered it, but that's pretty much his name.
Look, I'm not going to say that I can ever say it even better or not. But no, it's part of the Samoan culture. And that's whereas you're seeing a lot of the Samoan-born players are going to stay in the California area. They're going to play. That's why you see so many playing for Oregon, Utah, BYU, those types of schools. They'll stay out and on the West Coast, closer to family.
Arizona,
it's a lot more of the West Coast and the Pacific time zone because of how big family is in that that culture. And that's part of the reason that Tua's family moved around with him, is because they in Samoan culture, they want to keep the family together. So that's why a lot of that takes place. And honestly, the question about Madden does pop up. And with Arkansas now, again, it's not like it's a massive oh my goodness, is he going to go? And now, no, it's more of just like, so you guys going to try to fly into Fayetteville? Or, I mean, it's got to dodge a pig or two whenever you're trying to land. But it is, and then there's the actual animals. So it's really kind of crazy to see all the changes that have happened through just this couple of weeks in the college football season. Because, again, this time last week, this wasn't even like really a thing, or 2 weeks ago, wasn't even a thing.
No, it wasn't. And I got to admit, as much as I question the NIL and the transfer portal, it's made for some amazing offseason conversation. And we'll continue that conversation in the second hour when we get back. But we are live here at Cherokee Ridge for the Eagle Installation Charity Golf Classic to benefit a Make-A-Wish Foundation here in Alabama. We'll be right back here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN
The company
TV.
is Eagle Masonry and Insulation. But did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title, because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal. And we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
It's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update, presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Braves sweep the Twins over the weekend. I'm Barrett Salee, and this is your Braves Radio Network morning update.
Get clean car happy all season long at Tidal Wave with exclusive membership discounts, giveaways, and more. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com/Braves for more information.
The Braves enter the weekend without back-to-back wins on the season, but that changed in a 3-game sweep over the Minnesota Twins at Truist Park. Sunday was a great day for Grant Holmes. He goes 5 2/3, gives up 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts, 6 of which were looking. 3 home runs for the Braves as well. Matt Olson, Drake Baldwin, and Marcell Ozuna go deep. The Braves will look to keep the winning streak going against the Cardinals. 3-game set coming your way Monday night tonight for leadoff show at 6 p.m. First pitch against the Cardinals at 7:15. We got a good pitching matchup too. Spencer Schwellenbach going for the Braves. Eric Fetty going for the Twins. First pitch at 7:15 with Joe and Ben from Truist Park. This is the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports and it's brought to you by CB&S Bank. Bank anywhere, at any time with CB&S Bank's digital solutions. Managing your finances has never been so easy. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. Here are post-game thoughts from Alabama baseball head coach Rob Vaughn following Saturday's win in Baton Rouge against LSU.
Good win. It was a good win. Like, obviously, Zane Adams was outstanding, kind of getting back going. I thought he was kind of still feeling for stuff a little bit in the first, but really set it up and was outstanding after that and settled in. It was great. I thought our bullpen was just tough. Hagen Banks is outstanding. We make a routine play. He's probably out of there with no runs, but just settled in and battled. And Heiberger, huge at bat against Curiel to get the double play. And then Osmer's just tough as nails, man. It's hard to get the last 3 outs in this place. And Carson Osmer was just simply outstanding.
I'll have more in a moment.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations. You could say we know a thing or two about tradition. We've been family, community, and financially strong since we began in 1906. Being a team player is part of our culture. That's why at CB&S Bank, we're proud to sponsor the University of Alabama Athletics and prouder to take the field or court with you. Visit cbsbank.com today. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Join us tonight for Hey Coach, presented by Alpha Insurance, live at 6 p.m. Central at Baumhower's Victory Grill in Tuscaloosa. This will be our final Hey Coach show in Tuscaloosa this season. Next week, we'll have the show on the road at Baumhower's in Foley, Alabama. Hey Coach is available to listen to across the radio network, the Varsity Network app, as well as a video stream on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by CB&S Bank. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. AI-powered betting models to help you make sharper picks during March Madness. Free 7-day trial available now at rhythm.com. That's RITHMM.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series arrives at the Talladega Super Speedway this week for the Jack Blinks 500. Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, all 11-1 to win it. William Byron, Brad Keselowski, 12-1. Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, 14-1 to win the NASCAR Cup race this week at the Talladega Super Speedway. Atlanta Braves, $1.85 favorite against the St. Louis Cardinals at Truist Park today. The Braves dropped the Minnesota Twins 6-2 yesterday to complete a 3-game sweep of the Twins. Spencer Schwellenbach on the mound today for the Braves at $1.85 favorite. Eric Fedee for the Cardinals plus 154. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. Rain and a few thunderstorms for the rest of this Monday night. Low temperature is going to be falling into the lower 60s. Heading into our Tuesday, rain and a few thunderstorms remain in the forecast, about an 80% chance of rain. High temperatures warming into the mid-70s for the afternoon. We'll keep rain in the forecast through at least Tuesday night. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Second hour, final hour, best hour on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, separated by about 45 miles right now. Is it 45 miles?
I don't know. It's those. A goose just flew by really close. Sorry. I'm like a dog seeing a squirrel. I'd say for you 45 minutes. Yeah, I'd say around 30-something miles maybe, but it's not too big of a deal because we're still having a wonderful show, Joe.
No, we are. It's just I was just emphasizing because whenever you go to WZZN TV, you will see the fact that I'm back here hanging out in the studio. You are around the golf tournament that we have going on right now over at Cherokee Ridge, and everybody is on the course. Is that the golf lineup? Like, is that the tee times and everything behind you?
So it is the team. So I got Eagle Installation Team 1, North Alabama Mortgage, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, which, by the way, those are the guys you need to talk to about all your roofing needs. We got the Sportsmed, UAH, Kate Smith, Alan Sharp. I mean, we got whole lot of names. Jacob Title. I mean, I could name off every single one of them, but you can go and check out our Facebook page and you'll be able to see all of the teams as well. But you know what? Somebody said that this board doesn't update, but I've seen scores. So I think it's updating live for us here at Cherokee Ridge Country Club.
Okay, now that's actually impressive. But
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, especially because I thought that there would be like a score on a card or something. It wouldn't be actually like digital.
Yeah, I think what they do, I'm not 100% sure, but I think there are some cards out there that might have a little screen on them, okay? And whenever you obviously finish the hole, you punch in your team's score on that hole, and then that might register over to a computer that is then connected to this screen of 4 screens connected, and then we got the score going right here. So in third place, I'm actually tied in third place is Neighbors Wealth Management, and you've got Keith Neighbors on that squad, Scott Campbell, Ryan White, Riley Sinard. I mean, that's right now they're 2 under total, and they're through 3. It's just, golly, this place is high tech right now. So I got Wes looking at the scores as well, trying to see where all the teams are at. But it is a fun event here at Cherokee Ridge, of course, to benefit Make-A-Wish Foundation. And Joe, whenever you get out here, bro, all right, I know last time we got to see you, bring your golf clubs and all that stuff. You had a red glove, and it looked like you did a illegal action after you were done golfing. But yeah,
it's American. It was full American Psycho. It was full American.
Yeah. You should have just like got the thing and rubbed it on your face, and then it would have had a red marker. Would have been something out of what's that Viking movie?
There's many of them, but no, there's the show Vikings is what you're thinking of. You got Lord of the
that's
Rings,
a good one.
and then you then there's
Braveheart. I'm thinking Braveheart. No Vikings. Still Vikings in
okay.
that.
No. Those are Scottish. That's totally different ancestry.
Well,
yeah,
same thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
probably
totally different ancestry. Not bringing the golf clubs today. No, not
okay.
Not bringing them out here today. No, absolutely. Because I still need to get that one fixed. By the way, it's been sitting in that bag since that golf tournament because it's nasty.
Was it the red? Was it the red grip or was it the?
It was the red
yet?
grip. No, it was the red grip that I had, and it was, I don't know where and how long this club had been sitting at my dad's house or anything, but he handed it to me. He's like, "Hey, I'm never going to use this putter. Here's you like a brand new Odyssey putter." I'm like, "Absolutely," because the one I have was just one step up from the one that you get at putt-putt golf courses. So I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do that." And I took it onto the course, and then I did not notice it until, I think I was probably 3 holes in, and I looked down and I went, where is all this red stuff coming from? And sure enough, it was the grip on my putter. So,
you know what? It reminds me of a story. That's Armageddon hand. That's what that is. If you got a red hand just covered, Yeah, that's an Armageddon hand right there. I wish Joe was listening over on the ESPN Winchester. But besides the point, I should have brought my clubs out here because I would have at least liked to practice my short game, the chipping and maybe, also the putting and also probably the driving as well. And maybe like an 8 or a 9.
I mean, only thing you didn't say is your like second shot. That's it.
Oh, I'm good with my second shot. What exactly does that mean, though?
Well, no, I'm talking about the second shot off the tee. Is the only thing you didn't say.
Yeah.
Like you said short game, you said putting, you said driving. Like the only part of the course that you think you're good is literally the second shot to your short game. That's it.
Look, I can hit with an 8-iron, all right? A 9-iron, maybe, if we're going down 7, and then the lower I go, that's getting into a problem. The chip, I can kind of chip it out of a bunker. It's really hit or miss. It's all about the consistency. And if you come down here and you want lessons on how to get better, there's a guy named Jonathan Liggett that'll be able to hook you up with it. He's got classes throughout the weeks. You can do lessons. He has a ladies. I mean, he's doing a lot to teach some newer generations as well as some people who just want to get active with a little bit of golf, how to play. And you can do that all here at Cherokee Ridge.
No, and he's fantastic at what he does. And in fact, it would be really kind of cool, like if he like sponsored the Blitz, where he could then teach us how to be better golfers, and we could like do videos on the stream and on the website showcasing the improvement in his ability to be able to do such things.
So Drew he gave me all of the details on.
See, I wasn't far off.
Miles. 26 minutes, 23 miles, 35 minutes from the station. And then he said 300. The hell?
300, the movie 300 is what he's talking about.
Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah, gotcha. No, that was a great movie.
Yes.
Not kind of, it was a little bit off. I'm thinking Braveheart whenever I think of the paint, the war paint. We were talking about this last Friday with the eye black, all the different styles.
Because of
lacrosse players love it.
Landers, the Lander lacrosse team, because those ladies, every one of them had different face paint on. I mean, some of them went full Viking mode.
No. Well, I mean, they like that swagger. I mean, that's how they really show it off. But regardless, we've been talking a little bit of Nico Iamaleava. Of course, he's confirmed UCLA. We talked a little bit at the beginning of the show, a little bit of the RBC heritage, Justin Thomas. I mean, we still got a lot of things to hop into, Joe, but at the same time, we got 2 shows to do it. So I'm thinking, maybe we get a few guests from on location to join us whenever you get over here for Tom's show. But I think we get into a little bit more of the golf talk in the Tom Abraham show and possibly hop into some more Braves talk throughout this one. It's up to you. It's up to you in the second hour.
And what's really crazy, this is what's also
final
fun,
hour.
is right now as we're talking, if I remember correctly, today is also Patriots Day in New England and in Boston.
Nice.
And the Boston Red Sox are about to throw first pitch here in just a few seconds. So like I'm watching.
Very nice.
Yeah. See, and that's the only reason I know about this. Like I'm sitting here going, wait a second.
This gets you even more distracted.
This is
Joe.
when the Boston Marathon takes place. Like this is all connected if I remember this correctly. So no, as you're going through and we're talking about this, I'm looking up and I'm like, oh look, first pitch of Red Sox and White Sox going on at this very second. That's kind of good. As I'm also doing like 32 other things. No, and you were talking about the Braves, and they sweep the Twins. They go now against the series against the Cardinals, where they've won. The Cardinals have lost like 4 of their last 5 games that they have played in, and now you're looking at a Braves team that is crazy enough could actually have a better record than the Cardinals by the end of this series because they're only separated by 1 game. And so this is part of that like slow build for the Braves. Like Verdugo had an amazing series. He had a 4-hit game 2 nights ago. He also had a hit on Friday. You had Drake Baldwin, who is the newest Brave, the number 1 prospect, had a home run over the weekend as well yesterday. And so they're playing good, but that's really not what a lot of people are talking about. I think majority of the conversation has been more about Jared Kelenic and what he did and did not do during the game, because I know that you and Tom were talking about the Max Fried, but Kelenic not running out a ball that he thought was gone and then gets thrown out at second base. Now, originally he was called safe, but then they went back and reviewed it and saw that he was out, so he gets called out on it. And then Ronald Acuna Jr. tweets out that if it would have been him, then he would have gotten pulled. which he did get pulled
geez.
in 2019.
Yeah, he did.
He did. So he actually has a little bit of a point to that.
Well, don't you think that you're looking at Ronald Acuna? He's more of that leader on this team, whereas you can't compare yourself to Kelenic because, I mean, again, this is like a standard. He is like one of the main faces of the Braves. For Ronald Acuna, yeah, he'd get thrown out for it, but that's just because when you look at the Braves, you think Ronald Acuna, you think Spencer Strider, you think these names, you don't think Kelenic.
Well, and when you're a coach, it's just like whenever you're a parent or anything like that, like you have to coach every kid differently. I talk about my son and the fact that, he just started enjoying playing baseball like 2 days ago, yet he's in like his 4th season. Like it's kind of crazy. But at the same time, I know that I have to coach him differently than what I have to would coach my daughter whenever she becomes time that she wants to start playing, which honestly, she may be more athletic than he is. And so, like she's 2 right now and she's fielding ground balls better than he does. And
she's smashing Reese's cups right now. I mean, that takes some strength.
She's got that forearm
mental strength as well.
And so it is, because she didn't want to eat it. She wanted to smush it. And so it was there. You've got to coach everybody differently. When Ronald got pulled, it was 2019. And he got replaced with Adam Duvall against the LA Dodgers. That was back in I want to say August of 2019. And then you have Kelenic, who Braves pick up. The man was a first-round draft pick at some point in time. He struggled so many times with Seattle that eventually the Mariners were like, you know what, we'll let him go. And if he becomes a great player, then he just becomes a great player. He's just not going to be that for us. He got brought up to the major leagues, and I want to say that man, I think he started his career like 0 for 22 or something. Like it was just bad in what he was doing.
Yeah.
And so he got sent back down to the minor leagues, and like mentally he just never was the guy. But at the same time, the other situation that's really different about this comes to the fact that you couldn't really do with Kelenic what you did with Acuna. And you see what Braves manager said afterwards, like, oh, was I supposed to talk to him? Like something like that, where it's
this is usually not a big deal at all. This is nothing. But in 2019, of course, it was to Acuna at least.
Yeah. No, and it was yes, they did. Like you should be paying attention to him. The problem is, and at least from my standpoint of this, it really actually comes down to depth of your team right now. And back in 2019, Braves actually had a player on their bench that he could get replaced with. It was Adam Duvall. He went into the game there. The problem is that right now with all the injuries that the Braves have, the only player that was really available off the bench was Eli White. And Eli White is also like their go-to utility man that can play every single position. So you didn't want to put him in there and then possibly need him somewhere else and then not have the player. So I think that was a lot more to it than anything else. Do I think behind the scenes, like, he got called into the office and is like, look, you know what you did. And you know that and he goes, and I tell you, if I had not had the lack of depth on our bench that we have at the moment because of the injuries, you would have been pulled. Like I would tell him that because he needs to know that.
Yeah, but now the question is, how firm is that ice? Will it break to the point where, now we're going to pull you. If you do it again, we're going to pull you. But again, if they tell him that the depth is already short, he ends up slipping up, doing something that you're not supposed to do. I mean, they can't really afford to pull him.
Well, the thing is it would with Kelenic is right now he's still just trying to find his place in the major leagues. I mean, seriously, He's a guy that obviously he didn't mean to do this on purpose. He wasn't trying to show off. He wasn't trying to showboat or anything like that. It was more of a he hit it. He thought that it was gone. And then he had to make up for it. And it was just a bad judgment. Look, when you hit as many home runs as major leaguers do, you feel this. Like, and I say this because you pull up Kelenic's career, and the man going through his entire life was always a stud. He even participated in a home run derby at like Marlins Park for, we're talking about real home run derby with wooden bats and all this. Like he was the 6th overall pick by the Mets. Like these are the like types of guys that they know what it feels like to hit a home run. Trust me, Hitting a home run is way different than any other hit that you will get in baseball. You know the difference.
Yeah.
And it was one where he just misjudged it. It totally was. I mean, it was another 2 inches and yeah, it's gone. But it wasn't. It hits off the top of the wall, and that was his fault on it. Personally, it never looked like it was a ball that was going to be fully out that you would have wanted to try. That it never looked like it had that trajectory.
And a lot of the times you feel the ball. I mean, you feel it a lot less when you hit the home run. It's kind of just, it glides off the bat. It's just instantly gone. But when with him, I mean, he undercut it just a little bit. It still looked like it had a chance to get out of there. But again, every single sport is a game of inches. Sometimes guys will get cocky, and that's kind of what we saw with Kellen. And at the end of the season, of every single season, the most he's ever done is he's had a 2.53 average. And I mean, he had 400 at bats last year. He only hit, I think, was around 100. But you know, at the same time, that was the high point. It was around the high point of his career. He's trying to get back to that. He's trying to gain that swagger back. But again, in his position right now, he needs to kind of focus on the fundamentals less than, you know, hitting a home run and throwing the bat and being, you know, full of swagger at least.
Well, and the thing about it, it's so hard to describe what a hit is like, a home run is like. The best way that I can describe it is you feel everything and nothing at the exact same time whenever you hit the ball. If you can like kind of grasp that, you feel everything and nothing all at the exact same time, where it is something that you can see when it comes off the bat. Okay, that's gone. But you don't feel it the same way that you feel every other hit that you will make in a baseball game.
No doubt about that. Well, we have more conversation to come. Maybe Jonathan Liggett will come over here. He's the assistant pro out here. Chat with us a little bit about what they got going on here at Cherokee Ridge. But we are on location for the Eagle Insulation Charity Golf Classic benefiting a Make-A-Wish Foundation in Alabama. But we got to hit a break. When we come back, 256-576-4. 97.7 is the number to get in. We'll get your guys' reaction. Continue on the conversation here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, and WZZN TV.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer again. Baumhauer's Victory Grill is extremely proud to have recently received numerous awards, including being voted best wings in the state of Alabama. Other awards received include Best All-Around Restaurant, Best American Restaurant, #1 Sports Bar, Best Chef, Best Wings, and Best Dining Experience. Thank you for 43 legendary years, and we look forward to providing you an award-winning dining experience at every visit. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Have you discovered Good Company Cafe? The place for breakfast, brunch, lunch, and so much more. Enjoy brunch all day and pair with one of our many seasonal refreshing drinks, including alcoholic and non-alcoholic options. Choose inside or outside on our gorgeous, spacious, dog-friendly patio. And have some fun with friends playing yard games in the courtyard. See catering, to-go options, and lots more at goodcompany-cafe.com. Good Company Cafe, 7500 South Memorial Parkway.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
Tom Abraham back from my friend Ross Roberts at Valley Equipment Rental. It's springtime, so let's get that garden tilled with a tiller from Valley Equipment. And while you're at it, snag a power washer for the house and the driveway. And if you're putting in a sprinkler system, they have the small trencher that you need. And you can even rent a Skag zero-turn mower and much more to get your property in shape. Valley Equipment, not just for the contractor, but the homeowner as well. 2 locations on the North and South Parkway. Valley Equipment Rental. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Rocket City, for air that's cool and clean, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get HVAC smart with Professor Green and the expert team at sensagreen.com. Now offering up to $1,500 off any new Bryant system. Whatever it takes, Sensa Green has Huntsville covered. Remember, folks, with innovative, sensible green solutions, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Continuing on the Blitz 97.7 ESPN, the Zone. Joe Hunt, John Abraham. 2 different places. I am hanging out in the studio. John, where would you be?
I'm sitting right in front of the scoreboard for the Eagle Installation Charity Golf Classic, enjoying my time, hanging with the staff. I see Tom is over on the other side doing, I don't know. I honestly have no idea what he's doing on his computer. Probably something important. I just ate a Chick-fil-A biscuit, so, I'm quite parched. They're dry, but you know what? They're amazing. Yeah. Chick-fil-A, just shout out to them. They provided the breakfast. And Joe, you're not missing out too much, because when you get here, there will be lunch courtesy of Bubby's Diner. So, I mean, come on now. It's a good trade-off right there, isn't it?
No, sweet. It is, absolutely. We got some people that are hopping in on the chat as well. As Tara said, we're talking about what we did this weekend. There was a contingent of Havoc fans that actually went down to Pelham to watch the Bulls and the Ice Bears play in the SPHL semifinals, which the Ice Bears won. So just to show you kind of how weird the SPHL is, the number 6 and 7 teams in the league are going to be playing for the championship this week.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's definitely really interesting. Who's everybody going for in that matchup? Was they just looking for some hockey? Did they care about Knoxville, or who do they want?
Well, the reason I think that majority of Havoc fans will be going for Knoxville is because Noah Finstrom plays for them now. That was it. And
good old
honestly, I don't think as many Havoc fans are as upset about losing to Evansville after Evansville went up and just shut Peoria out.
Yeah.
And Cole CC continued to do what he did against Huntsville a couple of weeks ago. So it's a little bit, I think it's a little bit more fun about it whenever you're talking about the former Havoc players that are playing for Knoxville, they're kind of leaning that way. With it, but that was part of what they did. I apparently in the Easter basket that my son got over the weekend on Sunday, he got a slew of Pokemon cards.
Oh my gosh. Come on.
Now they're like beginner cards. They're I'm assuming they're beginner cards.
Dude, I'll teach the kid how to play, man. I've been playing the game as of late. Look, I feel like when you're a kid, you might get into it for a second, but when you're an adult, dude, that's when these card games get a little bit fun. All right, yeah. I'm just throwing that out there,
So
Joe. We might have a
question-
Pokemon night.
Well, my question is, John, I need you to find me some YouTube videos or something, because he's asking me how to play, and I have never touched a Pokemon card ever in my life.
Okay.
And so I need to know where to learn this game.
Okay.
Because
I
again,
can
it's kind
straight
of like
up break it down for you. A lot of dads are probably the same way. They don't know how to play this Pokemon stuff, but I mean, there's plenty of it going around for the kids. And on top of that, Joe, I don't know if you understand this, but the younger demographic is starting to figure out how trading and how things can go up in price, investing, all of that. They're learning that from these Pokemon collections. And Joe, I sold 4 cards. Okay. I had no idea. Like I knew a little bit of what they were worth. I sold 4 cards from 2014 to 2016, $300. I mean, it's just $300, but $300. I got another card that the guys weren't even thinking about buying because it was up to $700. I don't understand it, but parents out there, get your kids into Pokemon, whether you want to play with them, whether you want to save them and invest in their college funds. It's just collecting is so big right now. And these cards that, obviously probably cost a few dollars to make, maybe a few cents to make, probably more likely. These things are going up in price like it's crazy. And I'm not Neighbors Wealth Management. Don't listen to me about all of your wealth advice, but I do see a little bit of a market behind these things. But Joe, I will teach you how to play, bro.
Well,
I'll bring the cards.
We'll see. And this is my biggest thing is there's a couple of things that were accomplished over the weekend for me. One, I tell you all the time about how my son plays video games all the time. Yes. He had been doing it on my PlayStation, which means if he's playing that PlayStation all the time, Joe is not getting to play the PlayStation all the time.
Yeah, he can't have that though.
No, so what I did is his aunt had an extra PlayStation 4, and majority of the games that he has and that he plays on PlayStation 5 are on PlayStation 4. So we got him set up and he has his own PlayStation set up now inside of my office where he can do that. And it was crazy because this was set up. We get him on his little side, and yesterday was the very first day that he and I were able to sit down side by side. He's playing his game. I'm playing my game. We're just chilling and talking about video games. It was probably the most fun afternoon that he and I have ever had. Because normally he's playing and I'm just kind of sitting there like, oh, yeah, well, this is kind of fun.
That's
like,
legit,
hey,
dude.
can I play? Can I play? No. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Yeah. All right, cool. Hey, you got trouble? You want me to? No. Okay, cool. All right, fine.
I mean, back in the day, what we used to do with either children or their younger brothers, I mean, what we used to do is give them a controller without a cord. I mean, that's the way to do it. And then they think that they're playing the game. These kids are getting too smart, Joe. They're going to start running the economy in a matter of months.
He's 6 years old and he's able to beat Spider-Man on the most difficult level. Okay, like this.
I couldn't do that at 6.
The controller that I gave him, the fake controller thing, did not work. Because he's like, I'm telling it to jump. Why isn't it jumping? And I'm like, because I'm not letting you do it. And it did not work out. I tried that. It doesn't work. My daughter, on the other hand, that works fantastically.
Yeah,
it really does. She'll whenever she'll sit with
so.
me, whenever she'll sit in my lap as I'm playing and she'll want it. And then, so we're all good. The other thing is, and I did this in the very nick of time. I mean, it was the best moment for me to do this because after I got him set up, I got him playing Roblox, Fortnite is downloading, Spider-Man and all that's downloading. Like I've got him going. I turn on the PlayStation. My Japanese baseball game finally downloaded, sent the 2025 update out.
Let's go.
Literally last night, I got to start the 2025 campaign. All new uniforms, everything is in it. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. All new rosters. They update the entire game. And what's crazy, it was only like a 6 gigabyte upload. If this would have been any other game, like a Call of Duty or something, it'd be like 75 gigs. Like it would have been
not wrong.
Just for the update. 6 gigs is all it took to update this game. The moment I turn it on, it says, would you like to stay in the 2024 version or the 2025? I click on the 2025. Everything changes to the new update, new viewing screens, new look, new everything on it with new players. Roki Sasaki is out. Like all of these guys that were there last year that are now over in America, gone from the game. All new rosters, new uniforms. I'm like, all right, well, this is a perfect time for me to get him playing his PlayStation because now I can play my own and we are all good. Everything is good to go. It is.
See, that's similar to whenever I got my old lady an Xbox Series S. I got her one because I was playing, and she always wanted to play Call of Duty. I mean, that was just the game she wanted to play. Now she's got her own. She's playing Marvel Rivals. She's playing Call of Duty. She's, having the funnest time of her life. Well, I'm not even playing my console anymore because of all the work we got to do here at 97.7.
No, and that's like for me, what's been happening is we would go home and I would get home right after the show. And we would do his homework. We'd go outside. We'd hit just a little bit. And then I would be like, all right, man, you can go play PlayStation. And I would just sit there and I'm like, dang it. Like, dude, I want to do some stuff. Like, I want to do this together. Like we want to go outside. We hit, we practice and that sort of stuff together. But then once we get inside, we can't do it. Well, now he's got his system. I've got mine. And we're just sitting over there. And he's like, Daddy, which game are you playing? I'm like, oh, right now I'm playing, the wrestling game. Oh, okay, cool. Are you working on my character? No. I'm playing my own thing. Okay, cool. We'll work on my character. I'm sitting here playing Roblox right now. I'm like, dude, do your thing, man. Do your thing. We don't have
You
to.
don't got to worry about it now.
But when we download Fortnite, I'm assuming PS4 and PS5 can play against each other or on the same team. I'm assuming.
Depends. I think in Roblox that is one thing you can't do. Okay, or Fortnite as well.
See,
I'm pretty sure there's cross play.
And so if there's
By the way,
crossplay with that, we could play on the same team.
Look, I'm not even into Fortnite like these kids are nowadays, but I will say I got $22 worth of Robux, or no, not Robux, because I don't do Roblox.
Don't say that.
Fortnite.
My kid's ears just perked up in school. He's like, wait, what?
V-Bucks.
What
They were
V-Bucks did you get?
V-Bucks, which might perk up everybody else's ears in school. But yeah, I got V-Bucks. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. Actually, Adventure Time collab, and if you guys know me, I was a huge Adventure Time fan. I had a fan page out there, Joe. That's how I got started in this whole social media thing. I was like, oh, you know what? I'll make a fan page for my favorite cartoon. And I actually gained quite a bit of followers because that was all I had time to do. So, I'll be getting those Adventure Time skins and having fun with that. But don't know how to use them. I've never used V-Bucks before.
Basically,
but Joe,
it's all you do is you'll have like a card, you'll have a code, you put the code in, boom, it gets automatically added to your account. That's kind of really what it does. I know because I had to do this with Fortnite. Yeah, I had to do it with that to get those skins from them.
I got a Fortnite veteran over here, so he's going to be helping me out. We should play together, Joe.
No, because only time I've ever played was to be like, all right, man, here's your skins. Here you go play. And my son and then I would hand it off to my son, and he wants to play. And so he's never let me play the game because every time I start to, he's like, let me go. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, there you go. You can have it. I'm just going to sit over here and watch you screw up. Okay. Yep. Nope. Don't go do that. God, you could have shot that.
Gotta have more hope in him. You gotta give him some of that hopium so he's able to actually believe in himself.
Oh no, I give it to him.
Haven't you watched Gurren Lagann, Joe?
No,
I mean, come on.
Again, I give it to him, but then after he gets done, I'm just like, oh, you could have done so much better. Like, there's 15 things that you did wrong here, but I'm not going to say them all. Yeah. So no, it's now fun. That was our Easter. Okay. Like that was it. And went and saw Minecraft, since we're talking about those games.
You did it.
I took him. That was his reward for the 2
gosh.
home runs and the 5 RBIs that he got on Friday.
What a game.
Yeah, for real. I took him to Minecraft while my wife had her baby shower at the house because I was not sticking around for that. And so we went to see Minecraft. Wasn't for me.
It wasn't. I mean, you haven't played the game, so you're separating it, right?
I mean,
from the game and the movie.
I mean, there were moments that made me chuckle. Now my little man is dying of laughter.
I don't doubt it, dude. The jokes delivered by Jack Black were absolutely spectacular.
Yeah,
I still haven't watched it, but I've seen the lines that he's thrown out. Flint and steel, like that right there. Perfect. Perfect delivery.
It was, and I've played Minecraft enough with him that I was very familiar with all the characters, and whenever the pig would get stabbed and he would turn into a steak, like I understood what all that meant. It was just not my jam. Just wasn't mine.
Not as good as Mario.
No, it definitely wasn't as good as Mario. It definitely wasn't. Like, the story is really cool. The meaning behind it was really cool. It has, the everybody that was in the movie was awesome, but it was just kind of like, I was just sitting there, and I think it's my comedy because my sense of humor is so dry. Like, again, me and Willie.
Like the biscuit.
Oh,
I just ate.
It is a Chick-fil-A biscuit, 1,000%. So incredibly dry, but it's so delicious. And so it's one of those that, you know what, even though it's dry, you're going to continue to go back to it because it's so good. And my sense of humor is so dry that the stuff that was being said in the movie, I was just like, okay, this is kind of funny. It was more of the flyby jokes was what made me laugh because I would get them, but other ones wouldn't. And so I was like, okay, like those are my jokes. But little man,
I understand that.
The kids in the room, everything. I heard more kids walking out of that movie theater looking at their parents going, all right, now you got to play Minecraft with me. Now we've seen the movie. Now you got to play with me.
Now they know. That is awesome.
And I was just like, all right, well, we play anyway.
When the chicken jockey line hit, did you hear a group of children all whisper chicken jockey and some maybe popcorn being thrown up there? Because that's been like a huge thing apparently.
The popcorn didn't get thrown up, but yes, even my son yelled it. As a matter of fact, every kid there yelled it. whenever it took place.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if it's going to be a good movie or not. If it's a memed up movie going into it, I think that's where you see these box office numbers just go crazy. It's the same thing with the Barbie movie. I mean, it brought a lot of controversy, but it also brought a lot of memes, and this drew more kids to the theaters. That's the whole reason why the Minions is still popular. It's because obviously the memes that come with the Minions, all this bananas. I'm sick of the Minions, Joe. I'm sick. I'll take the Minecraft movie 7 times over the Minions 17 or whatever they're coming out with now.
Yeah, I've never been much on the Minions, like ever really been on that. Like I've watched the movie with him. It's all been kind of cool. It's like, okay, that's funny. I see where the jokes are coming from. But like with Minecraft, it was just like the jokes were there, but again, it just wasn't my lane. It's all it was.
I understand that, Joe.
Look, it was a fantastic movie. It looked great. Visually, it was good. It played very well into the actual video game itself. It leaned heavily on a lot of it, which, a lot of times movies don't do as well with that as there. You started to see like kind of the jokes and all that sort of thing. There were a couple side stories that I just thought, okay, these don't even need to be there, that are kind of dumb. You had a couple of extra scenes at the end of the movie throughout the credits that kind of set up for another Minecraft as well. It just wasn't my jam. It just wasn't. But I know that. But my son literally left with the biggest smile on his face, and so I was like, "Dude, if you're loving it, that's all that matters." That was really
worth it.
Yeah,
it was worth
now
it.
Now I'm going to make you go watch Thunderbolts with me.
There you go. Well, the Minecraft movie might not have been your jam, but I know the golf right now going on outside is all of these guys' jam. Let's take a look at the board real quick before we hop at the break. I see Fleming sitting at 8. Sam is on that team, of course. We got an ad that runs with him talking about the services that they run. They're right now 3 under through 6. I'm looking for number 1. UAH currently in 13th. They're tied with SportsMed, Woody Anderson, Ford, Team 1, and Jacob Title, UAH, with Kate Smith, Alan Sharp, John Burnett, and on top of that, Penn, I can't see his last name. It's actually cut off, but I'm looking for the first place. That's what I'm looking for. Samples is also here. Bill Penny, Toyota, Brian Bank, all tied up right now at 13. We'll be updating that throughout our show as well as going into the Tom Abraham show and following that, because right when Tom Abraham show ends, that's when we're going to be handing out the prizes. We're going to be eating the Bubby's Diner. We're going to be having a wonderful time. Goofs and gaffs inside of Cherokee Ridge Country Club here for the Eagle Installation Charity Golf Classic. Of course, benefiting the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which, Joe, that's going to lead into the RCAs. Look, the summertime is all about events, and it's all about, of course, representing the companies throughout this amazing city and area of North Alabama. And when we get to the RCAs, we might see some familiar faces, but we'll also be showing a little love to the Make-A-Wish Foundation as we wrap up this entire event. But I'm excited for you to get your first taste of the RCAs, and it's going to be the 3rd anniversary of it.
Does this mean I got to wear a suit?
I've wore a suit the last 2 years. I want to see what your version of a suit is,
No,
Joe.
I literally only have one suit, and it was the one I got married in. That's why I'm asking that question. I have one suit.
Joe, we can go out to Marshall's, get you a suit, rip off the sleeves. That could be your look.
I mean, good.
I'm thinking that's how you Joe Hunk a suit.
I'll go with the Ricky Vaughn look. I am totally fine with that. Okay, like I'm just curious because I was thinking to myself just now. Does this mean I have to wear it? Well, like, again, you're looking at this, what I'm rocking right now. I've got some like golf shorts on right now and a t-shirt. Like, I don't own a polo. Like, I don't wear polos. Like, I'm sitting like, okay. Like,
look, you can run the Drudy Armin. You can wear a turtleneck under the blazer. It would look, I don't know if that would look good on you. It looks good on Drew. I mean, if there's one guy that could pull it off, Drew's the guy that could pull off the turtleneck under the blazer. But, I mean, you got plenty of options, Joe. That's all I'm saying. I'll be wearing a normal suit. I'll probably be behind some glass producing the event. And I think we got a few interesting ideas that a lot of people are going to be excited for come the event. Of course, we're going to have sales on that, the tables, of course, and all of that good stuff. So keep an eye on our socials, 97.7 ESPN on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We actually made a post today. Scott and Drew were doing Talking Ball on location as well. If you guys missed out on that, WZZN TV is the place to find it. Or as well, you can also find it on our SoundCloud. And on top of that, just our website, including the app. So if you're missing out on any of the shows, just know they still exist. But we got to hop into a break. What did you just send me? Walk-ons. Yeah. We're going to go to that grand opening, Joe. We're going to it. I noticed them. There's a lot of growth over there near the trash pandas. But let's hop into a break. When we come back, we're going to finish out this edition of the Blitz. 256-576 97.7 here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as well as on WZZN TV. We'll be right back to finish off this jam-packed edition of
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Have you ever turned your back on God? Have you ever absolutely known the right thing to do and just turned around and walked away in disobedience? I know that I have. Aren't we thankful for our great and merciful God who loves us and forgives us and remembers our sin no more? I'm so thankful that his mercies are fresh every day. I need that, and I suspect you do too. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, and if you're looking for a church home, come see us. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison, and check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Alabama knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Want to save some money?
I can take money and I can make it into more money.
Just check out our zone deals online at 977ESPN.com. We are 977 ESPN The Zone.
can't even say final segment, best segment. Because it's not.
Why not?
Well, because we've got 2 more hours to go.
What's the final segment of a totally different show? Come on now, Joe. The Blitz, I would say the Blitz could be held up to a little bit of higher standard than the Tom Abraham show, wouldn't you say?
Oh,
Tom's just sitting across from the room, by the way. Can't hear me anyway. Doesn't have headphones on, regardless. Yeah.
No, you
Final
keep going.
segment,
I've got
best
phone
segment,
calls.
though.
Yeah, I got phone calls.
You guys can also join in on the phone calls, 256-576-4977. And I was looking at this article, and I got to see a little bit of Michigan's spring game just through the highlights that has popped up. And of course, the name to watch is going to be Bryce Underwood. I mean, the college football is all about those young kids right now. And the same could be said for college basketball. And I don't know exactly what the conversation is with baseball, but right now it's just all SEC. But for Bryce Underwood, obviously got to show out a little bit on the 19th this weekend. Of course, because Michigan had their little maize and yellow or whatever. I don't even know. They're yellow. I'm just going to say yellow and blue. I'm going to say yellow and blue. It was a spring game, yeah. And if Natty Dan wasn't on the course right now swinging clubs, he'd probably be hopping on the show just to dog me for that. But Bryce Underwood, he went 12 of 26, 187 yards. He had 1 touchdown, and it was pretty impressive. It was kind of just a dump off to a big white tight end who was able to run down the sidelines, score it all. But Bryce Underwood, decision-making looks like a plus right now for the Wolverines. And he also threw an interception, but it looked like it was a little bit of a misunderstanding between the QB and the wide receiver itself. But everybody wants to talk about these younger kids, Joe. But when I look over at Alabama, all I see is growth and a veteran that's going to be sitting at that quarterback position. As of right now, that's who we're thinking. Ty Simpson, of course, 22-year-old, and you got Austin Mack behind him, as well as that other kid that people are going to be talking about in time, Keelan Russell. So definitely some interesting stuff going on in the quarterback position. It's going to get quiet for a little bit, all right? We got all this conversation about all these quarterbacks and all these players that are jumping in the transfer portal, like over, I think it was like 2,000 plus. And the same could be said for the basketball again, except for that was up to 10,000, which I don't know. That just doesn't sound right to me. But of course, there's a lot more basketball competition. Regardless, I want to know you guys' opinions on the quarterback position. Who do you want to see start? Who do you want to see finish this season off? Because that's going to be a hot topic over in the NFL with some quarterbacks maybe getting shoved out of the limelight because of these new rookie quarterbacks that are going to be coming in. So 256-576-4977. Joe, I appreciate it. The delay is just a little. We'll continue that whole thing on the Tom Abraham show whenever you're down here and we have that instant connection, because that's when I feel like we do the best. But Ty Simpson being the quarterback, I'm all for it. All right. This is what I wanted for the longest of time. And if you see Austin become the quarterback, which again, right now, it's looking more towards Ty Simpson becoming the quarterback. He just has that leadership ability, the conversations he's had with the players. It's been a lot more firm. It's been a lot better for the team's growth. But for a guy like Austin Mack, I mean, he's going into his 3rd year. He still has eligibility after this season. So you could easily see a transfer, whether it's Austin Mack as the quarterback or Ty Simpson. Keelan Russell, he's staying put. He knows his position right now. It's to gain the information from the older quarterbacks and then, of course, take over the team moving forward. But whenever you're looking at Alabama, you're thinking Ty Simpson because you're thinking Nick Saban. And the same could go the other way around. And there's not a lot of players now on this Crimson Tide squad that came in with Nick Saban as their head coach. So I know I'm going to be pretty pumped. The fan base is going to be pretty pumped, as well as the players, because they know they have a proven leader who is dedicated to the Crimson Tide that's about to be leading their team instead of a younger guy that's coming in. And now with all the buzz around Nico transferring and his commitment problems, I'd be pretty happy to know that my quarterback has already been here for 4 years and he's going to continue to be my quarterback moving forward.
Let's go to the phone lines before we wrap everything up. Brandon, welcome in, bro.
So this weekend, I am at a high school baseball game, which is wrapping up the region championship. And there is a walk-off home run to end the game. And as I am grabbing my stuff, as the batter's coming around second base to get up, I hear my wife say, "Oh my God." And I hear people screaming and stuff being thrown. And I
Oh,
looked
geez.
up, and I'm like, what happened? I was like, did he miss a base? What happened? No, as he jogged to third base and made the run from third to home, he took his pointer finger and his thumb and made this 90-degree corner with it and held it up as he slowly walked from third base to home.
I mean, he wasn't wrong.
Ugh.
And I said, whoa. And
Did you put it up to his forehead?
He did not do the forehead. I was told that he adjusted himself. Can I use that term?
Yeah.
In synchronization with that. And my wife was just like beside herself. And I feel like the parents brought this on.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Again, I know you were there. What were the schools? Who were the schools?
My high school, Pepperell, and another one.
Okay. This is one of those times that is one of the few moments in baseball that you can actually do that. I mean, think about it. You just walked them off. You just sent them into the summer. It's not like they can retaliate. I mean, I have no problem with that whatsoever.
Joe likes the confidence. He likes the swagger.
No,
right there.
Look, I did it. I mean, I remember doing it.
I remember Baker Mayfield moment, Joe.
I remember look, I remember doing it. I remember doing this and literally going up to the next team we were about to play and be like, guess what? I'll do it to you too. I mean, I'm okay with this. One, he was factually correct. They were the losers.
Look, if he moved that L to something else that's John Morant would probably do, that would be the problem. That would be a problem. But the L, I mean, he is true. I mean, they're the losers. That's just what happens. Regardless, Brandon, appreciate you calling in, man.
Yeah, when Brandon call back during the Tom show, we can finish the conversation.
Oh, yeah. Well, Joe, it's been a lot of fun. I'm still going to be here at Cherokee Ridge Country Club. You're going to join us for the Tom Abraham Show. But for the Blitz, we'll see you guys tomorrow, 22 hours. We'll be right back.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need.